There is a total of 7 screws that need to be removed. I removed the 6 screws that are accessible. The top cover for the gearbox is held in place with a clip on the side of the electrical connector. Be careful when removing the lid, as there are 2 springs that are very important. Next, I removed the positioning gear with the electrical contacts. Be careful not to touch these delicate contacts, they bend and break easily. If your problem is that the water path valve runs for a long time and then the machine shows F63, then it may already be enough to replace this gear and the little PCB and reassemble the unit. When replacing the gear, make sure the teeth line up exactly as shown here. If you want to repair or replace the valve, you will need to remove the screw under the gear. Carefully remove all gears and springs and keep them together in a safe place. The large red gear doesn't need to be removed yet. The lid has one clip on the back and one on the side. I lift up the lid here, slide it back and take it off. The actual valve sits in the lid and is driven by this red gear. I have marked one side of the shaft and also the gear with a black pen to avoid any confusion when I reassemble it later. To replace the valve, I use a small screwdriver and carefully open the tiny clips that hold the gear on the shaft. Be careful, there's a spring under the gear that can easily send the gear into another universe where it can never be found again. Keep the spring and also the little washer in a safe place. Remove the shaft and carefully pry out the rubber valve plate. When replacing the rubber valve plate, make sure this side faces the shower lid. I push the shaft back in, turn the shower lid over and put the little washer and the spring back and carefully line up my black positioning marks on the red gear with those on the shaft. In the correct position, the gear slides easily down and clips onto the shaft. I rotate the valve to position 1 so that these 2 joint teeth are like this. Working on the bottom part of the unit, I can easily pull the gearbox out and replace it if needed. The reassembly is straightforward. Make sure the rubber seal sits properly, it will leak otherwise. The shower lid slides under the front clips. Then I push it down on the back. I have cleaned the gears and the shafts in the gearbox and lubricate them with a thin film of silicone grease before replacing them. Don't use anything else. Mineral oil based grease, for example, will make the gears brittle. Don't overdo it, grease attracts dust and that can defeat the purpose. I start with replacing the small motor gear. The smaller cogs on all gears face up. Before replacing the white positioning gear, I make sure that the screw is in place. The teeth of the positioning gear need to line up with the valve gear, exactly like this. I replace the 2 little springs that connect the circuit board to the motor. Finally, the gearbox lid goes back on and clips in, and then I replace the 6 screws. Thanks for watching.